It's that time of year when a quiet pond becomes a busy one, as frogs arrive from outside the garden, drawn in almost frantically by the desire to breed. Everywhere you look there are frogs dashing to and fro, some desperate to find an available female, or perhaps just kicked away by a successful male, while others are splashing about on the surface, with an elaborate ballet taking place beneath the water. Then, out of the depths, a terrifying sight. Well, it's hard to build up an atmosphere with a pond snail whose speed has to be increased by at least 3 to traverse a 1-inch camera lens in less than a minute. But the colour effect is interesting, even if it is blocking out the action. The sound of the male's croaking echoes as beautifully under the water as it does above. And the females are attracted to the loudest and longest croaks. Although to our ears, it sounds more like a serious case of indigestion. Even when paired up, the croaking continues to ward off potential rivals. And in amongst the croaking, the ballet continues. In 2015, it was March before the first frog spawn appeared in this pond. But following possibly the warmest winter on record, our local frog population has been fooled into thinking spring is well underway. It's a risky undertaking, as a sudden turn in the weather could lead to some heavy frosts and even the pond freezing over, and any affected spawn will die. The frogs themselves seem strangely attracted to the camera, and this means they give us a chance to see the male sporting his blue-grey hue and white throat for the season, and to see an example of the size difference between the sexes. Unfortunately, you can't really see the nuptial pads on his thumbs that he uses to keep a tight grip on his prize. He won't dream of letting go until he has successfully fertilised the eggs she will lay.
Baby, since we've been together, ooh, loving you forever is what I need.
This pair seem a little more camera shy, or perhaps they just prefer a bit more privacy. Yes, that would definitely solve the problem.
I'll never be
Moving above the surface, where the world looks rather surreal, you can see the vast matting of frog spawn stretching right across the shallow edge of the pond. Even here, the frogs seem fascinated by the camera. But all too quickly the madness will be over. Most of the frogs will leave, and we will be left waiting to see how much of the spawn survives the weather forecast.